tell me, to the best of your knowledge, what year would you say Crips first appeared in Little Rock?
1987.
Was it brought over by someone from L.A.?
Yes, it was a group of guys came from L.A. on their way somewhere else and ended up landing in Little Rock. And, you know, at that time it was the crack epidemic, and one thing led to another, and we was young and liked what they was doing. And me and a couple more guys, we joined the 5-9 East Coast Crips. And some joined the 5 Trey Avalons, and then some joined the K57s. It was like the older guys my age at that time. And that's how they came apart. But like a year later, we formed our own neighborhood, 23rd Neighborhood Crips. I didn't have to get put on because I wasn't from L.A., so I didn't have to get put on. We was just really knuckleheads, wannabes at that time, claiming 5-9 East Coast, and then we started our own neighborhood. Gangs was already in Little Rock before it was the Crips and the Bloods, the Vice Lords, and the folk GDs are, yes. But we already had like crews and posses and shit like that. You feel me? We had already grew up together and was running together, so we put a name on it. But when Crips and Bloods came, you know, people went with their neighborhoods. Once they seen colors, really, that's when the Bloods started. We was already Crips. And then it was one my guy that I was telling you about. He bought the Highland Park Power Rules now.
I do want to talk about crack cocaine specifically. How big of an effect did it have on Little Rock back in the 80s?
Well, it was like life and death. It brought life to the neighborhood because motherfuckers was broke. But then the aftermath of it was death. If you understand what I'm saying. The effects of the crack cocaine epidemic was death, but the kids, we was kids selling it to our parents and aunties and uncles and shit, buying rims and tennis shoes and shit that we having fun, but at the end of the day, we fucked up our neighborhood. And then along the way, we got mad at ourselves and went to beefing with each other. So yeah, it made a big effect on our city.
Would you say gangster rap kind of had an impact on your city as well?
Most definitely. Because when that came out, by that time, my L.A. homeboys was here. You understand what I'm saying? They was here. They had the finger waves, the perms, the khakis, the pumpkins, and that shit was fire as hell.
Talk to me about what changed in Little Rock when the BANGlN in Little Rock documentary came out.
I didn't like it because there was a lot of guys on there was kids, man, and they didn't really know what the fuck they was. I didn't get on it. You know, I wouldn't put myself on camera right after we've been banging like that and incriminating. I mean, because you know, the cameraman, it was the feds, man. The cameraman was the feds, and they locked. If you look at that movie at the end, they tell you all the motherfuckers that they interviewed got locked up, and some of them are still locked up.
Wolf Street Crip 23rd was mentioned heavily in that documentary, right?
Right. We're the mother set of the Crips in Little Rock. Really, for gangbang period, when we first won it, you know, started the Crippin'. And then came the Bloods.
So, damn, a lot of people did any of your close homies get locked up behind that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
And you said you chose not to get on camera. Is that what I heard you say?
Yeah, he came to my grandma's house. They came. I was like, no, sir, I don't want to participate in that. I didn't see no sense in it. You know, what was done already. That's like digging up old bones. You know, some of them kids dead on there like that, and their parents looking at that shit. That, you know, that's. I didn't like it.
Was it really popping back then?
It was the fifth most dangerous for a minute. It was out of hand by then. So by the time Clinton got in office, the money came.
I kind of thought some of the white dudes were a little bit corny in that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they were. I don't know what that man. I don't know. I don't even know where they were at. I don't know what part of town they were in. I know it was on the person where that shit was corny, man. I'm surprised motherfuckers didn't turn off that shit when they showed that shit.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is this? These country motherfuckers. But you know, it's a part two.
10 years later.
Yeah, it's called Back in the Hood.
Yeah. Did you show up on that one, or did you decide not to even do that either?
No.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I'm doing this. You feel? But, you know, hey.
Talk a little bit of hip-hop, the Nipsey Hussle death. He was shot and killed by someone from his own neighborhood. In your opinion, how could something like that have been prevented?
I would say no loyalty. Because if it was, it couldn't have been no way they could have got that man to do that. I wouldn't give a fuck. You know, they was homies. They said the guy was telling it, but if so, and he knew that, and he knew he wasn't welcome around there, why go there? Why go there?
How did you guys take it down there in Little Rock when you heard of his passing?
I mean, people was fucked up. It was people from Little Rock went out there to his memorial. And all my people are from L.A.
Okay.
From South Central. Yeah, from South. They there now. You know. So a lot of them went. There's a few people from Little Rock went. It was a trip, you know. A lot of motherfuckers was fronting because other people were. You know, I had always listened to Nip music. One thing, he was a Crip, and I got some homies from his neighborhood that I know.
You being a musician yourself, New York Crip rapper Pop Smoke killed in L.A. I'm sure you know about it. Not just in LA, but in Hollywood Hills, which is kind of unheard of. But what are your thoughts about how rappers with gang ties should move around while they're in another state?
I mean, me, myself, I would move, but I wouldn't be in tour with nobody if I'm making money like that. I wouldn't have time. You know understand what I'm saying? But he slipped and let his location be known. You can't be slipping. This shit is just like the streets. It's just an industry. You know, and you got real motherfuckers that's rapping and about that shit, and they got motherfuckers that's with them about that shit. So you got to have motherfuckers with you about that shit. I don't know really about the Pop Smoke situation. You know, I really don't. But you got to be on your P's and Q's. If you know you make it in your town and these motherfuckers hating on you, you got to go. You got to go. Some motherfuckers can't leave the neighborhood. Well, why do all that shit to get out the neighborhood and don't leave it? That's crazy.
There's always been kind of a differentiating factor between the way West Coast Crips bang versus the way East Coast and even like Midwest bang, where they ride the 5, ride the 6, that whole thing, and then line themselves with, you know, the folks or the GDs or whatnot. How would you say Little Rock is more along the lines on the West Coast, the way they do their thing, or the other way, or is it a mixture of both?
Nah, we was raised by the West Coast. Yeah, we was raised by the West Coast. So I don't know nothing about all that number and 5s and 6s, and it's Crip or it's Blood, it's neighborhood or it's gangster, or block. You know what I mean? But all them going up on the numbers and claiming Crip or Blood, I don't know nothing about all that. That shit's crazy.
I want to know what your thoughts on Tekashi 6ix9ine are.
I plead the fifth. I don't know nothing about that man's situation. I don't even listen to his raps. I wasn't even looking at that shit they was talking about for him telling it or none of that shit. It didn't have nothing to do with Wolf Street, so I wasn't fucked up about him.
What are your thoughts in general on rappers who join gangs or align themselves with certain gangs after they become famous, after they have millions? You know, like Chris Brown aligns himself with Fruitown, Soulja Boy aligns himself with Fruitown, like even goes back to Biggie aligning himself with Southside, Cribs, and Tupac aligning himself with MLB. What are your general thoughts on rappers who do that?
Busters. They're busters. That means you got money now, you want to hide behind a gang. So when you come to that city, you feel you don't got to check in, type of shit. Or you can hire them to go on the road with you, type of shit. If you wasn't banging when you was young, why start banging when you get in your 20s and 30s? That's ridiculous. It's just like I was saying, if you trying to get out the hood, but now you going back to a neighborhood to join a gang, that's fucked up.
Let's talk present day Little Rock. Is it still as active as it was back in the late 80s, early 90s?
It's calmed down. There's a lot of killers, but it don't be gang related. Like talking about, it be motherfuckers probably robbed and bumping into each other in the streets, and motherfuckers getting mad at these hoes and killing them and their kids and shit. There's been a lot of that going on. Police killing us, leaving us for, just a bunch of that type of shit right now. Before it's the gangs, nah. They on a whole lot of gang shit, but they just repping. Ain't no motherfucker just warning.
I feel like the Little Rock police, even going back to the 80s, the 90s, I feel like the Little Rock police were probably some shit to deal with. I bet they were fucking guys up like crazy.
Man, they used to, they catch one of us walking or slipping up, make us get in the police car and drop us off in an enemy neighborhood, vice versa, dropping them off in our neighborhood. And if we see them do it, we'll get that motherfucker a pass. Tell them to get the fuck on. It really depends on who in the park or where they get dropped off at. Yeah, that's fucked up. They did drive-bys, my nigga. For real.
Damn.
Narson did drive-bys on us. You know what I mean? Put on red rags and do drive-bys through the hood. Yeah.
Mm. I'm sure a lot of N-words were flying around.
Man, this officer used to jump out on us at nighttime and take our shit. Won't take us to jail, just take our shit. I ain't gonna say his name, but he was a dirty motherfucker, man. Him and his other guy, he was a bike rider, a bicycle rider. He'd be out 1, 2 in the morning, man. Shit like that. Just fucking with motherfuckers. Yeah, it was crazy. They're riding around like 10 deep in police cars. Huh?
Go ahead. Nope, keep going.
I said they were riding around like 10 police cars deep through all the neighborhoods, jumping out on motherfuckers and whipping them and jacking them up. Just retarded, man.
Damn.
Retarded. It was crazy. It was fun, but it was crazy. It was adrenaline rush. It was crippling. It was crippling. You feel me? It was banging.
Thank you for tuning in to Dusty Vision TV. Please hit that like button if you have not already. And if this is your first time joining the channel and you like what you hear, please hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video, you just might appreciate this bonus clip I'm about to play for you right now. All the way from Little Rock, Arkansas, ladies and gentlemen, on the line, I have Laid Back Boom. What up, dude?
What's up? What's happening?
Man, good to talk to you, man. Good to talk to you.
Already, no problem.
Yeah. Definitely dug your music. I want to get into some of your music later on in the interview for sure, because you got lyrics, man. You definitely have lyrics, and sounds like you have a story. So we're going to start at the beginning, man. We're going to go all the way back, and then we'll lead up to where you are today in your life. But tell everybody where you grew up.
I grew up in Little Rock, Arkansas, all my life. But I had moved to St. Louis probably like in late '98. But we moved back in like 2001, and like that's when I really got to seeing like all the gang activity and stuff. Like, cause like when I was younger, a kid, I didn't see all that blood and Crip. You know what I'm saying? Back in the '90s, I was a kid in the '90s.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I didn't see all that until like the early 2000s, really. You know what I'm saying? Back in Little Rock days, in the '90s, it was bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where you couldn't even probably be outside playing in certain areas. But I grew up in Little Rock, Arkansas. And yeah, like then what's so crazy, like this gonna shock you, I know everybody think everybody live in Little Rock in the gang, but everybody in Little Rock not in no gang. Like I'm not even in the gang. You know what I'm saying? Like my homeboys, people I grew up with, they in gangs though for sure. Cause One thing about Little Rock, you gonna have a friend that's in the game, but that don't mean you got to be in the game though. Like you can still be cool, still have friends, still have girls and all that. You ain't got to be no gang member just to be popping like that. Like, this not the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Like it's about money, really. That's what it's about, money.
Yep. Well, give us the good, the bad, and the ugly about growing up in Little Rock, Arkansas.
The good and the bad, like I'm gonna start off with the bad. Really, I feel like this. Like if you grew up like in the ghetto out here, like in the hoods out here, you gonna get into some shit. Okay, can I cuss on here too?
Of course.
Okay. Like if you living in a hood in Little Rock, you gonna get into some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you gonna get into some shit, just period. You know what I'm saying? But like I don't know, like me, I done lost a lot of homeboys. Like it's a lot I can talk about. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot I ain't gonna say on here either. But I feel like back in the day, like the good back in the day, to me, everybody was fighting back in the day. Everybody was fighting in my time, you know what I'm saying? And you had like in cliques, like you had probably just about like you probably had about 5, 6 dudes, you know what I'm saying, or 10 dudes, and probably one of them probably got a gun, or 2 of them probably got guns, really. All these guns I see now, man, I didn't see none of these guns back in the day. Like it's crazy. I'm talking about, man, you get into with these young dudes down here, man. You can't little boy in Little Rock. You saw a little boy, these dudes out here, they gonna shoot you. Like it didn't happen most of the times. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these older dudes, they be thinking that's that same little boy that was riding that bike playing that video game. That little boy done growed up. You know what I'm saying? He's smelling his nuts now. Like he not that same little boy like when you knew him. So you gotta really respect these young dudes down here because like they'll knock y'all down here. Like you trying to little boy them and thinking, oh man, I'm OG, you know what I'm saying? I'm the big homie. You know what I'm saying? They don't care about that. They do not care about that. Now my generation, we respect the OGs. You know what I'm saying? We don't care if you smoking crack. We just respect the OGs. You know what I'm saying? But the younger generation, man, they don't care. They don't care about your past. They don't care how much money you made, how many bodies you got. They don't care. They do not care. I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? But like my generation, we respected the OGs or whatever. But like the only thing different is like Little Rock, like people were fighting. Of course, you know what I'm saying? Little Rock known for shootings and all that, but back in my time, people were fighting. Like after high school, that's when guns and shit got involved, really, after high school. Like in high school, people had guns and shit, but it wasn't a lot of them, though. Everybody was fighting back then in Little Rock. You know what I'm saying? Like kids that's my age, my generation, yeah, they was banging blood and crip, but they was fighting. They had a problem with each other. They'll fight. They'll fight it out. But after that, after high school, they stopped doing it. Like they got the shooting. Like after high school, it got real. Like, oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like it really got real. You know what I'm saying? But down here in Little Rock, it ain't like it was in the 90s where it's like Bloods and Crips like, oh yeah, he got on all red, man, finna kill dude. He got on all blue, finna go on the shoot down. It ain't like that. It ain't about no colors down here at all. That's dead. That's been dead. Yeah.
That's the same way it is out here. Yeah, definitely. You don't know who you could be standing next to a dude with all skinny jeans, hoop earrings and hoop in his nose, but he's straight up Pyru or Crip or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. For real, that's how it is down here, though.
Yeah. Well, let's go back to 93, man. 93, Little Rock was the murder capital of the country. This is probably when Little Rock really got on the radar of the rest of the country because they were, in fact, per capita, the murder capital of the country. And for anyone who doesn't know what that means that they're a small town, but for the amount of people that they have in that city, they had a high amount of homicides and violent crimes and things like that, right, as compared to a bigger city like Los Angeles or Chicago or Philadelphia with a much bigger population. We're talking per capita. So basically, it was really rough back in 93. Talk to me about what you remember just about navigating through Little Rock and what you kind of remember about the streets in 1993.
See, this is why I was in 93. I was probably about, 3 or 4 years old. So what I remember, like, only thing I remember back in them times, like, I don't know, I had on probably like some like blue outfit or something. My mom like, nah, they got too much blue in it. Cause I guess where I was living in at the time probably was a blood neighborhood, probably. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know nothing about gangs when I was 3, 4 years old. I ain't learned to after. like years later when I got older. But I guess it's like you couldn't just wear certain colors. Like that's all I remember. Like you couldn't just wear certain colors. You know what I'm saying? But I was a kid, so I ain't like 93 from my knowledge. From what my people told me, it was bad. It was too bad. Like it got real bad. From my knowledge. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
When was the first time?
Documentary, it's a lot of,
Go ahead.
Pardon me.
Go ahead.
Not just like that documentary. Everybody's still living off that documentary, but there's a lot of things in that documentary they didn't tell people. You know what I'm saying? See, they didn't tell people like in certain areas in Little Rock. Some of them, they want some cameramen coming to their projects. Like they couldn't come to certain areas in Little Rock. See, BANGlN Little Rock, it could have been bigger than what it was. They didn't go to all the neighborhoods really. Like a lot of neighborhoods they didn't go to because a lot of them didn't want some cameramen out there like this. He got real like this 92, 93, so they probably got a lot of shit going on out there. So they see these dudes, these cameras, they might think they the feds or something. So they like,
yeah. Then
I think they was the feds. Matter of fact, they was the police. Because everybody that was on the documentary, they got charged. You know what I'm saying? After the documentary came out. Yeah. If you see the beginning of BANGlN Little Rock, the first BANGlN Little Rock, the ending, I think all of them, everybody that was on that camera got jammed up. Yeah, everybody on that camera, I believe, got jammed up. So, wow. So yeah, man. So that was a shocker. Like, but a lot of them people on there, like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them changed their lives. You know what I'm saying? Like some you'll still see in the streets around here. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I ain't like them white people that was on there. Like, we never seen them in Little Rock. Never.
The one that was claiming GD, I believe.
Yeah. We never seen them around in Little Rock. Like I never seen them. We didn't know where they was from in Little Rock. We didn't know where they was from. So we like, they can't be from Southwest because you know what I'm saying?
They did look a little extra. Looking back at it, they did like they were putting a little extra on it when they were stacking and talking amongst each other. It just didn't. That part of it didn't seem authentic.
And I ain't gonna lie, the city, I'm gonna be real. Everybody from Little Rock, we do not like that part. We fast forward that part.
Yeah, I think I do too.
We fast forward that part now.
And all that shit, it just doesn't. Seem right to me.
Yeah. Now when they go on Wolf, go to that Crip Hood. Yeah, that's the real. You know what I'm saying? That's the real Little Rock. Now when he go there to that park and everything, yeah, that's official. Like everybody on there was official for real. Everybody on there. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of them changed their lives or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all you probably still see out here. You know what I'm saying? But they mind their business. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna say something about people in Little Rock. We don't be like, ain't you that dude from BANGlN Little Rock? We don't say that. We just see them and you know what I'm saying? Because some of them you can't even approach like this. Well, you want BANGlN Little Rock? Like, nah, you cannot approach them like that because some of them, they about their life. You can't approach them like this. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I had one of them was my neighbor. Like, it was a female on there. I ain't going to say her name, but it was a female that was on there. She was my neighbor. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't find out till, like, a couple of months later. I'm like, that's that girl that was on BANGlN Little Rock, man. That's her. You know what I'm saying? But she mind her business. You know what I'm saying? She didn't bother nobody, and you wouldn't even know it's her unless you just paid attention. Like, you be like, man, that's her. Like, you know what I'm saying? But she mind her business and she ain't bother nobody. But as far as that, people in Little Rock, when we see them, we ain't like, oh, yeah, ain't you on? Nah, we see them, but that's such and such, and that's it.
Yeah.
Now, people out of state, they might get starstruck or whatever, but nah, you can't really approach some of these people that's on the documentary because you got to realize, like, a lot of them probably paranoid and can't know who you is, you feel me?
Or that life is behind them and they just don't want to be a part of it.
Yeah, because a lot of them don't like that BANGlN Little Rock spotlight, really. A lot of them don't. Like I said, I done seen a few of them that was on that documentary. I done seen a lot of them in person. You know what I'm saying? I don't know them person, but I done seen them. Like, okay, that's such and such. That's that dude that was on BANGlN Little Rock, but I'm not gonna just walk up on them and be like, oh, yeah, ain't you? Nah, You know what I'm saying? Nah, we don't do that.